everybody. How's it going? Just wanted to, before we take a long 12-day break for the um, holiday, to the details of the paper and like wanted to show an example without giving it to you. So here is one, and um, there is where I wanted to go. So from last year, and just kind of what we're looking for, so you guys have an example idea. Um, Maybe easier to see in person here, but we'll work with what we have. So um, the it's a zip file. That's always fun. Let's see if it works. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Cool. So here's an idea to get you guys moving. This one, again, just going through everything APA style. So there's your abstract. This is about sickle cell disease, a group of genetic conditions with pathology results from the inheritance of sickle cell gene. Double zygotes. So this is a support group for folks that have sickle cell anemia. It affects people that are diagnosed and family. So it's severe and fatal, rarity of research and reformed reproductive choices among patients. So, it's genetic, it's passed on. Here's a proposal for the support group for people dealing with sickle cell. It's a life-threatening disease, huge toll on families. It's a major public health concern. 80% of the cost is hospital care. It's a little old stat, but that's fine. It's 2009. Causing chronic illness, sickle cell genotypes. So comprehensive care is essential for avoiding hospitalizations, and there is no other care for people that are family members. So psychosocial concerns. So going through the pain is painful and hard mentally. Family member that was struggling during the mindset, caregivers with chronic illness. Surprising that they have a high rate of maladjustment. So caregivers of children, and there's research on that. So citing those research stories. African Americans, sickle cell patients deal with a lot of things, including racism in hospitals and outside the hospital. Sometimes they may be declined certain medication due to how quickly they were used, and folks assume they are abusing the medication. So like with pain pills, if it's a drug addiction. In social work, our core value is dignity and worth for someone abusing it. So several studies wanted to see if yoga was helpful, and so the benefits of doing group work for sickle cell, individuals who have it. So I'll also zoom in a bit to make sure you guys have it all. So there's benefits to doing the group work. People recently being diagnosed might have concerns and need to know more about the diagnosis or disease. And individuals that have it could have like better mindsets with stuff. So group goals, clients will increase amount of electrolytes and water drank day 2. They decrease the amount of fried and fatty foods consumed in week 3. Increase the number of positive affirmations. So kind of making a treatment plan. So there's the group goals. Part 2 is implementation. The agency group will be conducted at the American Red Cross. It's a nonprofit human organization that provides emergency assistance. Red Cross prevents and alleviates human suffering in the face of emergencies by mobilizing the power of volunteers and generosity of donors. Americans not only have joined the fight against sickle cell, but also do blood drives. So just getting more and more info on that stuff too. So let's see here. And Americans have joined the fight against it. Ideal members are 5 years of age or older, trying to get in and individual of African descent, still individuals that aren't descent who deal with it, which is why any person has age or gender. Member group, in order to recruit people. And the doctor's offices, again, is listing how you're going to post your PDF files or like a poster board to say what you're going to do with it. Flyers in hospitals and areas where predominantly African Americans are being counseled, and analysis of shelters. Also make Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter page for sickle cell support group and promote. Wouldn't be much of a process to select them. Most groups are like an hour a week, twice a week for 10 weeks, but this is how you could plan it out. So let's see here. So showing you then also like if you led the group, sickle cell anemia support group. So as you see quite a bit about the sickle cell anemia, and then they had an awareness day. So making for sure that's still available, which it looks like it is. They kind of overlap though, that's weird. Let's go this way.
Welcome and thanks for joining us. My name is Dr. Wally Smith, and I'm the Florence Field Cooper Smith Professor of Sickle Cell Disease at Virginia Commonwealth University. Today, we're here to celebrate World Sickle Cell Awareness Day, designated by the United Nations, and we're here to celebrate recent progress in sickle cell disease, and I'm excited to share today's program with you. Sickle cell disease, or SCD, is an inherited blood disease that in the United States occurs in about 1 of every 365 Black or African American births. It also affects people of Hispanic, Mediterranean, and South Asian descent, so it's worldwide. In sub-Saharan Africa alone, more than 300,000 babies are born with sickle cell disease each year. This SCD community needs far more attention than it has received. In addition to having a disease that inflicts pain and suffering, these families have endured health disparities that have gone unrecognized, as well as a fragmented system of care that does not always meet their acute healthcare needs. But today, we're here to celebrate. Today, we reflect and celebrate meaningful steps forward in bringing attention to sickle cell disease from the American Society of Hematology and others in recent years. I'm here today because I and others are part of a new generation of scientists and clinicians bringing sickle cell disease to life. And that just happens to be the title of a new series of podcasts I'm moderating for ASH called Bringing Sickle Cell Disease to Life. Now, I'm joined by Drs. Russell Ware and Dr. Tina Lopez-Pachipe. Please briefly introduce yourselves, doctors.
Hello, I'm Dr. Russell Ware. I'm a pediatric hematologist at Cincinnati Children's Hospital. I am the director of the Division of Hematology here at Cincinnati Children's and also the director of the Global Health Center. I'm delighted to be here with you today and join the celebration.
Hello, I'm Dr. Tilope Pachipe. I'm a pediatric hematologist in Houston, Texas, and I'm the co-director of the Sickle Cell Disease and Thalassemia Program at Texas Children's Hospital. I'm delighted to be here today celebrating World Sickle Cell Day with these distinguished gentlemen.
Dr. Ware, 6 years ago, when ASH launched its sickle cell disease initiative, there was one FDA-approved medicine for sickle cell disease. Now there are 4. What are some other advances that you've seen in the past few years that you want to tell us about?
Well, thanks for that question. It is exciting to see the acceleration in the treatment of sickle cell disease. But as a pediatric hematologist, I have to correct you. 6 years ago, there were 0 drugs approved for children with sickle cell disease. It was only in the last few years that hydroxyurea was approved, and the other new medications are not yet approved for children. So we're still lagging behind. I think 2 decades ago, the biggest advance that hit the sickle cell world was the advent of TCD screening. Instead of having children suffering from strokes and not being able to do anything about it, we suddenly had a way to intervene, to screen, to anticipate, and to act. A decade later, we were starting to use more hydroxyurea. And when the Baby Hug trial was finally published, we saw that it was both safe and effective. That really was a game changer too. And now in the current decade, we have so much new basic science. We're understanding so much more of the cellular and genetic levels that I think we're going to have targeted therapies emerge for years to come. So there's been a lot of advances. They may seem slow, they may seem incremental, but I think when you take the long view, they're really exciting. And I think we're going to see a big change in the coming years for the treatment and management of sickle cell disease.
Dr. Pachipe, do you agree?
I completely agree with Dr. Ware. You know, I have a unique perspective. As you and Dr. Ware know, I also have sickle cell disease. And so I was
All right, so you see there is a need to get more of the education out there. Sometimes the group could be educational, so you might write that into your paper. So here is some of the other sickle cell societies, like the Ohio Sickle Cell Association, just so you can see kind of the push for the groups that you may want to add some of their citations in there. Folks do the blood drive with it.
My whole life. I've never known anything else. I have sickle cell disease. I have SS. That's the most. I probably wouldn't live to see my 18th birthday. Sickle cell was like a death sentence. But now it's totally the opposite. I mean, people can live effective, prosperous lives, healthy lives with sickle cell disease. So I think that we've come a long way. Since I was a child, my parents have always told me, you can be whatever you want to be, you can do whatever you want to do. But after I had my daughter, I was really, really sick. I had a lot of hospital admissions, more than normal, more than I ever had, and I would get really, really sick. Good job on your picture. High five. A crisis is the hallmark of sickle cell disease, and a crisis is just pain in any location of your body. You can have it wherever blood flows. If I had to describe it, it would be like repeatedly being stabbed with a butcher knife in the same spot nonstop. That's what it feels like. So growing up, from the time I was born up until maybe I was 8 or 9, I took penicillin every day of my life. And the purpose of that, I think, is to prevent any kind of infection, just in case. My brother, who's had many more complications than I had with sickle cell, he tried hydroxyurea when he was about 13 or 14, and every side effect that the medicine could offer, he had. So I was afraid to take it, but I thought it wouldn't hurt to try it. So I started taking hydroxyurea in 2009, and it has really changed my life. I haven't had an admission in 13 months, and my numbers, my blood numbers are wonderful. My doctor is totally pleased with it. I haven't had any negative side effect from the medicine. It's really wonderful. It's been good to me. It's so much more important for me to stay healthy now. It's because of my baby girl. The day she was born, they tested her for the disease, but I knew that she didn't have the disease because her dad doesn't have the trait or the disease, but she does have the trait. It's really important for me to stay healthy for her, but also it's important because I love what I do. I love my job. I love life, and it's not fun being sick, so I do everything in my power to stay healthy. Take my medicines every day without fail. I don't smoke. Never try to smoke. Never will smoke. But I do eat fairly healthy. I think the main thing I do is my fluid intake. That has a lot to do with how well people do with sickle cell disease. Life right now is great. I'm healthy. I'm a mom to a beautiful little girl who I love so much. I just bought a house, so I'm really excited about that. And I'm in school, getting my master's in healthcare administration. It feels great to know that, yes, when my parents told me I can do whatever I want to do and be whoever I want to be, that I'm actually doing it now. Having a good attitude affects any area of your life, whether it's health related or job related or any area of your life. So I always try my best to have a good outlook on life. I have sickle cell, but sickle cell doesn't have me.
All right, so there's some of the sports that get folks into, say, for example, aftercare sometimes too. Some of the activities planned for the group. Goals that are 6 months, journaling how they're feeling at the moment, learn triggers, do group bonding, go over the basics of what sickle cell is and how it affects the body. Setting goals for the first 6 months is important because you want to see the progress of the groups and the individuals journaling how they feel. Uh, So other activities that you would do, just make sure terminated area B for a close-ended group and termination, and just make sure to do the proper passing on to folks. Evaluating the effectiveness of the group. So usually people using questionnaires and the clients, how their pain is. Yoga to deal with the stress and other things of that nature. And then covering your references. So again, having your 8 pages, obviously there is the abstract and the title page. So just wanted to give you guys a good look at what that would be like. And your final paper is all I'm focusing on just because it's so long. You asked if there's another assignment. This is it. So I just want you guys to put all your focus on this. We're going to do the social work advisory board Friday, so no class. And give you guys 12 days to work on your paper. So hopefully, if you have any questions, email them in the meantime, but I want to give you guys all those chances to work on the papers. So let me know what you think. And believe it or not, see you after Thanksgiving. So have a good one.